Good morning, Sin City, and welcome to another episode of the Las Vegas Social Media Show. Today we have two very special guests, Bill Arvizu and Frank Perez of Picalum, an up-and-coming social network based upon visualization, birthing right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Bill, Frank, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us on, Sam. We appreciate it.
Yes, thanks a lot.
No problem. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you guys? How'd you end up in Vegas?
I'm Bill. I'm going to go a little bit further back so you get an idea of why somebody with my occupation is involved in what we're working on. I was born in Chicago but raised in Southern California. Very artistic family. I was involved in drama at a young age and ended up working for a makeup artist who was doing special makeup effects for Hollywood pictures. As the saying goes, life is what happens while you're busy making plans. I ended up in downtown Las Vegas as a rookie firefighter. Of course, there was a woman involved, but I've been doing that for almost 21 years now, and I've had a good time serving the community, but I think at some point we all kind of need to return back to what we're passionate about, and Picalum is that thing for me. So this is something that's really exciting, and I think I get an opportunity to help other people also pursue their passions and not let those things go.
No, absolutely, and we're about to get into that here just in a second. Frank, how about you? How'd you end up out here?
Well, I grew up in L.A., born in Monterey, California, and I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, and not quite, well off or anything, but growing up, I saw hardship, I guess you could say, and I guess that inspired me to want to give back to the community. And that's when going to college, I was going into business and thinking, this is the way to do it. In the end, I ended up changing my career goals to wanting to be a firefighter. That's what brought me to Vegas, the career opportunity. And now, after serving the community still, I'm at 16 years, in conversations with Bill, my friend, and my coworker, seeing what's going on at the downtown project kind of motivated us to see what we could do to give back to our community. Though this isn't my roots, I can relate to that, having served that area early in my career. And so it's exciting what's going on downtown, the downtown project. So I think the ideas we have here, can benefit the community, and it gives us an opportunity to give back and instill pride and passion into the area we serve.
Absolutely, and we thank you guys for your service, of the downtown community, because you guys, for someone like me and a couple other people downtown, I've only known it for a few years, where you guys have seen this progression that's been happening down there from the get-go. So leading into that, Picalum, what is it? For the people that don't know, what is Picalum? Tell us about the project you guys are working on.
Well, Picalum, I think right now is the future of social media in the sense that it is social visual. That's basically what Picalum is. And how I came about the idea of Picalum was that same woman that got me to come down to Vegas 21 years ago is also the reason I got involved in Picalum, because I got a divorce. So I found myself 39 years old in Las Vegas needing to make friends. So I did what most people do. Most people pursue social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Plenty of Fish, Match.com, etc. So I got involved in that, and I found that there are tons of people on those sites, but you'll find that most people are really dissatisfied with the results that they get. Because I think there's a difference between making contact with people and connecting with people. And I think with social media today, although it's not going anywhere, we're making good progress as far as making contact. Hi, I'm Bill, this is what I do, et cetera, et cetera. But I didn't feel at the time that we were making a true connection. I thought about the profiles we were creating. The profile that I created, I thought, if I were to take this verbatim and read it to somebody on the street, what would they get from it? And a lot of the profiles would sound like this. Hi, I'm Bill, I'm 42 years old, I'm divorced, I don't smoke, I drink socially, and I own a car.
True.
And that is not how we meet in the real world. So I thought about that, and I found there has to be a better way to make a true connection. Even through social media like Facebook, we tend to utilize it in a way where it's like, Grandpa got a new lawnmower, or I ate a great sandwich, or my friend from high school is going on a trip. I don't feel that we're making true connections or remembering why we really are friends with these people to begin with. So one day, as I'm looking through one of the Plenty of Fish profiles, I saw this woman that, quite frankly, her profile didn't impress me. But at the very end, she had the verse to a song that was so obscure that I felt nobody in the world would know this, and it excited me. So instead of writing some verbose response, what I did is I just finished with the second verse of the song. There was an instant connection that was made. And I realized that in a way is how we connect with people. I became friends with this woman. We dated for quite a while. So I started thinking, how else is it that we make connections? And it's really odd in the way these things happen. Sometimes you can be in a crowd of people where nobody's talking to one another, and you start a conversation talking about something that you're passionate about. For me, I love like TV shows like Breaking Bad or The Walking Dead. I start engaging in a conversation like that, and you will notice that people will enter in the conversation feeling like it's okay to do. And it is okay when you're all involved in something that you're passionate about. So I thought that was unique. Or like I've told him, an example of where you're driving your car and you're at a stoplight and you're listening to a song and you're singing, and somebody pulls up next to you singing the very same song. And you look at each other and you kind of make an instant connection. We both enjoy the same thing.
Right.
If you really want to spark up conversation with somebody, mention a cartoon that you watched as a child or a toy that you played with. And if they share that in common, there is an instant bond that is made. So I realized we really don't connect on, hey, I make this amount of money a year, this number of dollars a year, or we connect on a personal level. So what I did was I took my profile and I got rid of all the words. And what I did is I provided keywords instead. So I tried it out and I put something like Sedona, Pinot Grigio, dinner, you, me. And I found that I got a response. It's virtually meaningless as far as any true content. But what happened was that women would read that, and they would, if these key words spoke to them, they would create a story in their mind, or they would create mental images of their mind that would complete what that experience would be with me, or what I would be like, etc. So I thought, if that connection is being made, why don't we just cut out the words completely? So what I did is I made a profile that consisted of visuals. Visual images that had an impact. But this is how it's different. It's not pictures in the way that are put on Facebook or Twitter. It's images that represent who you are, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, a representation of yourself. And when I did that, the results were amazing. I was meeting people that instantly already had a connection with me. So I realized the power of visual images. They are full of information. People retain that information. And not only do they provide information, they provide an emotion, a feeling. So I thought, this is the way to do it. Initially, on a primal level, we need to connect with visual images. And that's what Picalum is about. It's representing you, your passions, the things that you feel most that makes life worth living in a visual way. And that's the way people will connect with you initially. Now, later on, there's still the opportunity to have a conversation, to post a picture, a video, anything of that nature. Use other social media. But at first, you connect on that primal level. So
that's interesting. So it can lead to other things, but at first, it's the visual.
Absolutely.
It starts with the visual. That's what's going to trigger. And you're so right on the whole profiles and how quickly maybe someone may judge somebody, or just, I know me personally, I don't like to read a lot of text a lot of times, whereas if there's a picture and I can connect quickly with a picture, that's something I'm going to relate to a lot more.
Absolutely.
You know, and Frank, what's your whole take on Picalum?
Well, after he shared that idea with me and we talked more about it and developed it, in our discussions we saw what was going on downtown, you know, and what we saw 10, 12, even 15 years ago, that area was dead. And now what we see is a lot of foot traffic. I see a lot of pride and a lot of passion in that. I would want to say that small little community. You know, there's a little hustle and bustle. And I can see Picalum connecting with that in the respect that making true connections. Because if you can visually share your passions, you're going to attract others down there. You're going to find other true connections and work together. And that's what I see down there being built as a community, people sharing, people working together. And I can see that I feel that that's, like Bill, that is the next media where people will learn to or use to communicate. And so that's the connection I see, and that's what I like about Picalum.
Absolutely, and I think Picalum definitely fits very well into what's going on downtown. So many artists, tech-savvy people, and it seems that all the conversations that I've seen on the internet have been going to, everyone's talking about visual. What's the next big thing going to be? And people are trying visual. Where this I see as this is it for me. I really, really like what you guys are doing, and just the whole Picalum's just really open-ended to me. Like it can go so many different ways. And I think by starting with just the visual, you know, it's you guys have the term let pictures tell your story, or the whole just look. Explain just look.
I think what's important right now is people want to express themselves. It's something that we've done since we were children. When we were a child, you wear your favorite action figure t-shirt. For me, it was Spider-Man. I walked around with a ski mask thinking that I was the character. I was expressing what I was passionate about. As a teenager, a lot of us, we have our bedrooms just covered in posters of the bands that we like, the movies that we like. It's a visual representation of how we're identifying ourselves right now at the moment. And you can't take that bedroom with you, so what do teens do? They express it in the clothes that they wear, the way they dye their hair, the things that they use to show the world who they are. And we continue to do that as adults. And I think with a lot of social media today, we aren't allowed to have that self-expression. We're allowed to make that comment, hey, I'm on my way to the dry cleaners or whatever. But it's talking to somebody and say, you know what really I'm passionate about is music, and the music I create, or the films that I watch and the films that I create too. So it's important that people have the outlet to self-express. Self-expression is important to us. And if we can find people that can identify what we're trying to express, that's where the connections are made. So Just Look says that when you go onto Picalum, you're going to be able, within seconds, just look at visually what I say about myself. You will get an idea of who I am and the feeling, the emotion that I'm trying to create. I'm telling you, connections in this form are going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a great thing.
And I already like the Ebert campaign.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. The framing of the eyes, that's something that I came up with as an idea, where a director will go and survey an area and say, this is what the shot will look like. And he will, with his fingers, go and create a frame. He will frame what his audience is going to see. He's essentially framing his art. And that's what we're doing with Picalum, is the Picalum pose is you're framing yourself, your eyes. You're telling people, this is what I'm showing you. That's the real me. So that's kind of where that came from as well.
Yeah. The way I look at it, Just Look is like an invitation to others of what you look like. What you want to represent to them, your passions. The eyes are the window to the soul. Well, Just Look is that window. And it allows you the ability to share your passions, whether it's art you've created, art that you like Bill said, music that you've created.
Literature, fashion, anything.
And so that's what it is. And so it's a way, again, to express yourself, whether it's your business. Art might be your business. And
Absolutely.
It gives you the opportunity to do that, in a visual way.
So this is for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're a business owner, if you're an artist, or maybe you're just you have a hobby you really, really like. It's for anybody.
If you're passionate about motorcycles, about hot rods, whatever, if you're an author, anything, and it doesn't have to be a Picalum page based on you as an individual. It could be a group, a common cause, a thing that you're working toward. It could be a business. To me, Picalum can also be a way to transform resumes. If you're an artist, you can have your picture, you can have your work in different mediums, whether it's sculpture, oils, whatever. It's a way that we communicate, that people honestly communicate. I mean, if you look at like text messages are usually ended with, what do they call them, the emoticons or whatever, with a happy face or a sad face, because we're still trying to inject a human appeal to what we're writing. We still need to know that this person is happy or sad when we're writing this. It's about human emotion, and that's what Picalum is about. It's about expressing that passion or emotion. And I'm afraid that if we keep going in the direction that we are, that's going to be something that's absent. So Picalum is kind of a return to being human, expressing yourself.
Being human, I like that a lot. And you guys have already started using social media. People are going around doing the Just Look pose.
Absolutely.
No, and I actually gotten one of those myself. It's pretty, and to me, it's just fun. Like, the Harlem Shake, something like that. Like, no one knows why it exploded like it did, but it kind of making social media fun again, and not complicated. Just anyone can just simply do that pose, and then if they want to, they can try to reach out on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere like that, and submit their own picture if they want to.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at technology today, and you'd think that a lot of the information that we'd be getting on our viral videos would be, chock full of information, and a lot of the stuff is basically silly information. And what it is it's not silly. It brings us together in laughter, in emotion, in passions or whatever. And it's the same thing with Picalum. We're tapping into those things that are viral, happiness, sadness, whatever. So yeah, we invite people to come onto Facebook. I kind of like call it our pre-launch site, where people can go on there and say, hey, this is me. I'm striking the Picalum pose. Who am I? This is who I am. And take a picture with something that you're passionate about, whether it's your art or the movies that you like. Are you a Star Wars fan? Are you a Trekkie? Tell us who you are. Have fun with it. I'd like to think of Picalum as kind of like the dessert of social media, where you go and you do the things that you need to do with Facebook and Twitter, but when you really want to have fun and delve into the things that bring us together, that we're passionate about, movies, music, fashion, anything, your dessert is going to be Picalum. That's where you have your fun, and that's what I'd like to see us as.
No, I love that. The dessert of social media.
Absolutely.
That's genius. And we've already touched on the downtown scene a little bit. Going back to that, with everything that's going on, Tony Hsieh, what he's done for the whole Vegas tech scene, and just where you guys see it going. I know Inspire's coming up. Where do you see Picalum fitting in to everything?
I think it fits in tremendously in the sense that what they're trying to do downtown is approach the revitalization of that area through community. And to me, the way a community is formed, obviously, is through individuals. And how do we get to know these individuals? With a Picalum format, we could go downtown and we could talk to some of the key players, or even people who aren't as, let's say, influential, but are involved in that downtown project. And we could highlight them as an individual with their profile and have them tell us, hey, this is the place I go for fashion. This is the place where I go to have a drink and relax. This is where I go for my music. This is what I see coming up. Not that we shouldn't have to go and search for this information downtown. It should be there in a clear, concise way that we can identify these individuals and see collectively what it forms. I mean, there could be a Picalum page for the downtown project, and you could go on there and see key people, see upcoming events. But I really think that what they're trying to do too is bring people from other states who have businesses that can bring something to Vegas. How do we bring them down? Let's bring them down with something where they connect with us on a personal level first, and then you do business. I mean, do you want to do business with somebody that you've never met, or do you feel more comfortable doing business with somebody that you say, hey, you know, our kids are on the same Little League team, or we love the same shows, or you bond that way, and then it's an invitation for relationships, for business, for friends, whatever. But I really think we need to connect on that level first.
And it might knock down some barriers, too. The
Absolutely.
more I think about it, you know, people may just, hey, he likes hockey, I like hockey, instead of just judging people off who they think they may be.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Frank, and I know you've been around the downtown scene, so would you agree? I mean, you definitely think Picalum fits what's going on with downtown?
I really do. Like I said, it's visual. You can relay a lot of information that way. You can, if you happen to be someone that is looking for art and for your restaurant that may be down there, or a project you're working on, you know, by doing that, you'll by using Picalum, you can see not only the artist but what they're about, you know, and then you can make a connection, a friendship. You can develop that into something further, maybe a business, you know. So I see that it has its place in the downtown project and can be utilized for many things, you know. Like you said, it knocks down barriers, you know. It opens a line of communication, you know, because you see shared passions, you know. And I think that's a lot stronger than just, hi, I'm so-and-so. You know, when you see that you make a connection between passions like that, likes, dislikes, you've already developed something stronger than just trading business cards.
And one thing that I've heard Tony Hsieh mention is he uses the term collisions. And what he does is he tries to mix the community along with the work environment. And one thing that he does, I've heard in some of the businesses, that he will have one door that's open for everybody to enter the structure, even though there's a lot of other means of access and egress. What he wants people to do is to collide with one another, to be bottlenecked through this door. And why that doesn't make sense, what it is it causes people to connect in the way that we're talking about. And obviously, they're not going to go and bump into each other on that door and start talking business. They're going to talk about the mundane, or things that seem mundane, but the things that are our everyday life that are fun and connect us. So I think Picalum is kind of like that. It causes us to have these collisions, maybe not based on business at first or relationships at first, but the things that bind us together. I mean, he's even talking about not allowing people to park in structures where they work, where there's plenty of parking. He wants them to park a couple of blocks away so they have time to get involved in the community, walk through, have these collisions where they collide with one another and bring up conversation. And I think Picalum is kind of like a web idea that does that. So I think it absolutely connects with the same thought process.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about Picalum, the idea, the brand, what it represents, and I know you guys are also working on how is this going to be presented? You know, how are people going to use it in the future? So my question is, how can anyone watching or listening, how can someone get involved or help what you guys are doing right now with the Picalum project?
I think if you are anybody that has any kind of passion, and I think that's everybody,
Positive.
you know, and you want to express yourself, if you're part of downtown, if you're part of anywhere in this country, and you just want to say, hey, this is me, this is what makes me happy, and you want to express yourself, strike that Picalum pose, get on our Facebook site, and show us who you are. If you can show us who you are with a single visual image, make it fun. Create a buzz, because this is going to be a great thing. And if there's anybody else out there that is tech savvy, that is into software development or anything like this, and this strikes you as something that hits you where you're passionate, get a hold of us. We'd love to hear what you have to offer, and we'd love to have you involved. This is about community, about getting people involved in their passions. So this is my invitation to you, get a hold of us. We'd love to hear from anybody.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you can get a hold of them anywhere. Picalum, Picalum, and I know that's Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Picalum.com is coming soon. So, I mean, you guys just, all they need to do is find Picalum pretty
Absolutely.
much to find you guys.
Absolutely. So, like I said, the invitation is there. We look forward to hearing from anybody, and post those pictures. Show us, strike that Picalum pose. We really enjoy when we see new additions. So we welcome it.
And what I love about Picalum is I see it truly being a global thing, because there's no words. It breaks down all the barriers. Like,
absolutely.
Someone in Africa can relate to somebody in New York just by doing the Ebert pose. So I think that's so cool. Right. And definitely the videos and the promos. I mean, it's all artistically based. So I think social media, I don't know, from what I've seen, there's a lot of people trying to start social networks and whatnot, but just nothing really sticks out, or there's not really a huge brand behind it. With this, I don't know, it's just different. It's just different, and I really like the direction you guys have gone with it. I really do.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And sometimes the best ideas are simple, and I think expressing what you're passionate about doesn't get any more simple than that. It's something that we've been doing, like I said, from when we were children to whatever age we are. We love to talk about ourselves. We love to express ourselves. And if somebody shares in that, it builds a community, friendships. It's what Picalum's about.
It can be a lot of fun too. You're doing it, Just sitting there picking music and stuff that represents you.
Yeah, definitely. Now, do you guys have any final thoughts for us before we leave? Any final words?
I just want people to look for Picalum, because you will see this. This is going to be a great site. It's going to be an opportunity for you to express yourself, be passionate about things. I hope it brings people together. I hope it creates new businesses, new friendships, new relationships. And I just look forward to having everybody see that Picalum will be global. It's going to be something to look forward to. And thanks for letting us talk about it today.
No,
thanks.
No problem.
Share your passions if you're interested. And thanks for having us on.
Yeah, and the Las Vegas Social Media Show is honored to have Picalum onto the show. We look forward to it. All right, guys. Well, Frank, Bill, thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to the future of Picalum.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks,
and everyone out there, all you have to do is just look. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.